Yeah, so bring it a little closer.
Bring it closer.
Hey, everybody, how y'all doing tonight?
Saturday Night Lives, huh?
Saturday Night Live, huh? Yeah, it is about like that, ain't it?
Yeah.
Always liked the land shark. Yeah, I don't know if y'all remember the land shark. He was back in the 50s on
I never watched Saturday
No,
Night
in the
Live.
70s, excuse me, 50s. I wasn't even born yet. You don't remember the land shark?
I never watched Saturday Night Live. But first of all, from the 70s?
Well,
Where was I in the 70s?
You was a little kid.
I wasn't even in
But-
school yet.
But I'd get set up later on Saturday nights, and my sister and Tommy, when they were dating.
Yeah.
And they had the land shark.
Yeah.
That's about the time Jaws come out.
Oh,
So
is that what it was? So
but he
they
was-
were making fun of it?
Well, he'd knock on doors and act like he'd say,
Oh, you know what? I did see that.
yeah, he'd
I
say
do
he's
remember
like
that.
a delivery man or a
Uh-huh.
policeman. Then when people
Mhm.
opened the door, he'd eat them.
Doo-doo.
I always liked the land shark.
Yep. All right, we got Cryptid Crystal also, born in 79. 74 here.
Hello, Crystal.
So-
Good to see you. Good to see you, Spencer. Maybe some other people come on here in just a minute before we get
Guess I should
started.
turn the mouse on so I can use it. Let's see. Okay, let me close that out.
It has been a busy week.
Yep. We thought we were going to be late on the live.
Yeah, we had people here today purchasing rabbits and eggs and learning
And
a
me.
little bit about rabbits, how to raise them and stuff.
Yep.
So that's one thing we love to do is to tell people how. Not saying we're experts, but
Nope.
we like to explain how to do things and save money and
I
how.
like to share my
Yeah,
experience.
there you go.
Not that I know it all, but my
There you go.
experience.
Yeah, so I agree.
I know, right? I had a dentist appointment this morning. So they gave me the whole day off for that. Let's see. Miss Sam Kais. I can't read that. Too far away. Hello from Virginia. Born in 60. Old FA. I'm going to assume that's an old part. No. Mark was born in 68.
8. I'm a 68, baby. I was before the moon.
I think what was the year Elvis died? 73, 74?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me. I was after Elvis died.
I was before the moon, as some of the old timers call it. Yeah, I was born before the moon.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm talking about the moon landed in 1968.
Yep.
Oh,
You sure you weren't born before the moon?
I'll be old.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, our souls have been
Are
around
older than dirt, yeah.
wherever God keeps them at.
Yep.
Or how he does that, I don't know.
Yep.
We'll find that out
One day.
Yeah, it's been a busy week.
Busy.
Rainy and off and on. We had the first part of the week started off real beautiful. Then the rain moved back in, of course, so it's been missing.
80-something degree days.
We got trees blooming out. Oh, we got to check our fruit trees. I bet they're putting
I
out.
bet.
Oh,
Well, I know the plums are. They're
oh,
blooming.
man.
The ones back here that don't produce fruit,
I
they're
hope
blooming.
this ain't too early because I know what'll happen.
It's going to be too early.
Gonna be a hard freeze come and
Yep.
knock all the blooms
Hey,
off.
Miss Janelle.
Hey, Janelle.
Let's see. My parents were born in the late 40s. Mom from farmers, dad from military.
Okay, who's that?
Cryptic Crystal.
Okay, good.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
parents are into the 30s. So
My dad was born in 1926. And my mom was 1938.
my mom was 39. My dad was 38.
I think she was 18 and Daddy was right at 30 years old when they got married.
Oh, did Elvis die in 77?
Yeah, it was 77. Yeah, it is.
Well, who died in 72 or 3 or 4? Because somebody did.
I don't know.
I could have swore somebody said that I was born after Elvis died. Maybe it wasn't Elvis. When did Buddy Holly and them die?
Oh, that was in the late 50s.
Oh, never mind. I don't remember. I don't know.
So how have everybody's week been with y'all? I know a lot of y'all have been about like us, warm temperatures with
With rain.
rain. And I know the people that live up north right now are getting blizzards and real cold temperatures.
One of my friends has negative, I think she said negative 37.
Where they at?
Canada somewhere.
Canada. I know the Dakotas and all in there is real rough. Cross Michigan, back quarter, of course.
Oh no, Janelle. You got an instant lesson in freezing, didn't you, when the deep freezer went out?
Ooh.
Instant lesson in canning.
All right.
Easy, sweaty, yep. Sister and I are all looking for a homestead property. Hopefully you find one. I think a lot of people, unfortunately, are looking right now.
Yes.
Flat Rock says hello. Misty says hey. Hey, everybody.
Yeah, how's everybody going? Good to see everybody. Yeah, homestead property.
And everybody's idea of what the ideal one is different too.
Right. Everybody has their different expectations. Just be very careful looking for land. You don't want to buy something that's going to cause you more misery.
And make sure the property that you got the rights to what's on the property, like the rights to the woods. If you get property and you don't own the rights to the wood on it, the timber on it, then that may be a problem.
Well, down here in the South, and what she's talking about.
Some places it's mineral, some places it's water.
A lot of the timber companies will sell land, but they'll put a stipulation on it that they can hold rights to the timber for 7, 8, 9 years. So yeah, you get the price of the land real cheap like that, but
Maybe.
they could come in there and cut it, and they probably will right before that time period's over with.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something to think about. Like where we live at too, we got the largest marble quarries in the world, and most of the mineral rights in this area has been bought up by the marble quarries. Now, will they mine all of it? No. Where they're at now, they'll be there for 300 more years. That's how much marble is there. So I doubt they'll ever spread out anywhere else. But so if you live in an area where there's a lot of copper or minerals they want, and if they own the mineral rights, they do have the right to come in there. They have to give you market price for that property if they come dig it up or move you off of it. That's some of that crookedness that went on years ago.
But they don't have to give you market price for the timber if they own the timber.
Yeah, y'all gonna hear me down
the
our government a lot. I'm sorry. There's a lot of underhanded stuff went on over the years, and that's just I just don't like it. It gets me mad because it's not right to us. Just like those clear cutting the national forest. Oh, that makes me mad. I don't even need to get on that subject right now. But anyway, this we didn't get to do a live Wednesday night. Rebecca had a bad migraine, and we just decided not to do one Wednesday night. And of course, we should have went on and said we wasn't going to do one. I did release a video today. I got part of it done. I've got to run up on the club tomorrow and finish the other. I do have a sighting. Excuse me. Let me back it up. It's been 2 sightings this week and a vocal that was heard. I have talked to one of the guys, and we're supposed to meet up Wednesday afternoon where he's seen this one. He has agreed to be on video about it. Well, maybe not on camera, but he said he would talk, and we're going to try to go to the location and video that. He did see a booger, and he's got some pictures. Now, of course, I won't release that. That's his property, and he is going to probably contact somebody to see if they can maybe enhance it better. He got pictures of prints too. The other guy's got some pictures of prints. He's seen a big one. He thinks it's around 9 foot tall. Boogers are moving right now. I think, in my opinion, hunting season's pretty much over in most places, except for turkey season coming in. Also, food gets very scarce this time of year. Everything's been depleted pretty good, so that makes the animals move around more. And of course, the predators follow them. So, so something to think about. So if you're in areas, to keep an eye out right now. Keep an eye out right now because you might get a glimpse of something. Um, so, but there'll be some good videos hopefully in the next
In
few
and
weeks.
outdoor guy. Hello.
Hey Anthony, how you doing?
Oh, is that who In and Out is?
This is going to be a combination of homesteading tonight and Bigfoot. So we're kind of we'll do a little bit of both. So we're going to get started on homesteading first before we get off on Bigfoot or anything. So we're going to talk a little bit about books, different books that you might could still find and order. Most of these you probably could still find most of them.
I'll let you take the top 3 and talk about them.
All right. So we're going to talk about Foxfire. My favorite subject.
It's like a series of 20 books.
Yeah, and let's see.
It may not be 20, but
We
it's
gotta
a
get
lot
a
of
new-
books.
We gotta get
We need a new couch.
Yeah, we do. Bad. We'll have to start spending some money again. So, here's one. You can see up on the top what titles are. I'm not gonna hold it there long, but a lot of this was wrote out of North Georgia and parts of Tennessee and North Carolina. One of these books has my people in it. Let's see.
I don't know if we actually have the one that has yours,
I think we do.
because that's the only 3 we got.
Yeah. So this is Foxfire 4.
Show them back.
And, this one's got fiddle making, how to make spring houses, horse trading, sassafras tea, berry baskets, and gardening. This one here is more a lot of the religion with this is Foxfire 7. Let me hold it down. But it's about ministries, revivals, snake handling. Woo! They do that here in Alabama up on Sand Mountain. Foot washing, faith healing, and camp meetings.
How you spell that foot word?
Huh?
What was that foot what?
Foot washing.
Larson.
Yeah, don't be aggravating me.
Larson.
Hey, look here. I'm a Southerner.
Foot Larson.
I'm full-blooded Southerner.
Me too.
You got a lot of Scottish in me.
I mean,
And here's Foxfire 6. It's got shoemaking.
they are more
toys,
southern books. They're Appalachian, basically.
Wooden locks, water-powered
It's the old
sawmills.
ways.
So there's a few good ones that you could reference to. Of course, they got pictures. And, but the one with my people in it is from Rayburn County, Georgia, about grist mills. And that's North Georgia, right on the North Carolina line. Let's see. All right, baby, you got something to explain here.
So this is one of my favorites. This is the first one I ever got started with. And like I said, this is one family's journey and everything that they think was important. And it's kind of like divided up in sections and in a timeline, sort of.
Tell them the name of it.
It is called The Manual of Practical Homesteading by John Vivian. And yes, this is a used library book copy. It has... This is another copy of it because my first one disappeared. So
She talking about that. A lot of times, a lot of libraries will get rid where they sell books, and sometimes you can get them for like $1 or $2.
Yep.
So check your local library. A lot of times they'll have them for sale.
Crystal wants to know, Mark, have you ever been to a snake handling church?
I have never been. I've had some friends of mine that grew up on Sand Mountain that went to a church, and we had some bring some down in here one time. A bunch of people went, but I ain't fooling with no snake. I mean, I believe in the Lord, and I know I have a lot of faith.
I don't need to test it by a snake bite.
Right. I don't need to test his. I don't need to test it. So I'm
Hey,
believing
Misty,
me.
if you're having a problem with pasty butt in your chicks, turn your heat down.
Well, she had a problem with it.
She's going to go clean chick butts,
Okay.
and she can't handle her phone for a few.
Okay.
Anybody that's having problems with pasty butt in chicks is because your heat is too high. Either raise that heat lamp or get more airflow going.
Right.
Yeah. All right. This is one that a lot of people have heard of. I have not fully read this book, but it is the Back to Eden method by Jethro Kloss. And one of the principles of his is making sure your ground is covered. I mean, that's just one of his principles in this whole book. His is, you've seen a lot of people using mulch to cover all the ground. That is one of the things. And it's so much more in here than just that. But that is part of the Back to Eden method. You want to make sure that there's no open ground. That way you have weed control. And that layer of mulch, he does a real thick layer of mulch on top of his ground. So this part is breaking down and feeding under here. So yeah, that's part of the Back to Eden method. So read up on that. Let's see. I was raised Pentecostal. That's what Cryptic Crystal said. And then she said she tried a different light bulb than normal and it's super hot. Yeah, that's what's causing the pasty butt, is that heat. So I have seen some things. I bet in Pentecostal you have.
Yeah. Speaking in tongues.
My grandmother and her family, Methodist and Pentecostal. So I wasn't raised in church. But
I was raised in a Methodist church. Now, they used to call the Methodists the shouting Methodists because they got a little rowdy, and over the years they kind of don't get rowdy.
Yep.
Methodists are kind of, excuse me, I'm sorry. Methodists are, they kind of got doctoral, not doctoral, how do you pronounce it?
More ceremonial.
Yeah, for some reason they used to be.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right, show that book.
Another book that I have gotten, I have not done much with this book. I will. I got this off of Amazon when I was looking for books, and I saw it and thought it would be a very good book to get. Old-fashioned labor-saving devices. So everything in this book is something that you can make to do a job. None of this is mechanical. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't use like a tractor with them, but it is designed to where you can make it on your own and use it on your own. There are slides in here to be pulled by a horse. It shows fencing. It shows, so many different things. Just there's so much information in this book. So if you were to want to prepare for self-sufficient, grid goes down, crap hits the fan type stuff, this is a book that you want to look at. Old-fashioned labor-saving devices. And again, it is a pretty cool little book. Who's it by? I have no clue. So, and it's not very big, but it's got a lot of stuff in it.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you can read better than I can. I have to put glasses on and everything.
This is one that I have not read yet either, but was recommended to me. This is the one Mr. Davis gave us. And it's the one where they are transforming their dirt into good soil on a farm, right? On a lot of acreage. So I have
But
not.
you can do that on small stuff too.
If you've heard the term regenerative agriculture, that's what this book is. It's taking those wore out farms that we have and turning them into better farms. So
a lot of that they do through certain type of grasses, add manures, doing the lime, planting the areas, and utilizing your property correctly.
Yes, a lot of it's utilizing what you have properly.
And so some stuff don't belong on some stuff. Put it that way.
Dad was excommunicated for marrying my mom. What about herbal medicine? Any recommendations? I am in the process of learning some myself, and I did not bring out any of my books on herbal medicine. I have a whole shelf full of those.
Right now, get back in with that woman affair.
Well, I need to get back in on a lot of things. I'm still trying to figure out the best place to go for learning what I want to learn. There are so many resources online, but they all cost so much. It's very hard to find a course that you actually learn without it costing. Hey, God's hand made it.
Hey,
Mr. Bell.
How you doing, Mr. Bell?
Life stops when my favorites are live. Oh dear. I got a heck of a cough syrup. I can tell you about some cough syrup. What you got though, in and out? Feel free to share. All right, so here's another one that again, self-sufficient. I think I got this off of Amazon, but I think I actually saw it in Tractor Supply at one point. And this is called the Trapper's Bible. So this is all traps that you can make or learn to use. Again, crap hits the fan, being self-sufficient. You know, part of a self-sufficient homestead is learning where to get your meat from.
Let me say something about that a minute. Trapping is a very good quiet, there we go, quiet way of harvesting animals where you're not telling everybody else around you that what you're doing.
Yep.
And what I mean by that, you ain't shooting a rifle and everybody knows you just killed something. So, you know, it is a good method. Also, it's a good way to see what you got on your property. Different animals, you have to use different traps. You have to know how to set them for them animals. So some of them are very smart. One of the hardest creatures to catch in the woods is a mink. And I learned from my uncle how to catch him when we started catching. That's a little critter that knows how to get around in the woods. Plus, there's one more knows how to get around the woods too.
Yep.
The boogers, but I don't think I want to try to catch one of them. But I don't even know what kind of trap he would build for one of them things. I don't think it'd hold him either. But
yeah, this has got a lot of traps in it, and it tells you how to hunt specific animals and things in here as well.
Other thing be fish traps. A lot of people when I was growing up, a lot of people had fish traps. You couldn't keep game fish, which are like brim, bass, crappie, but any what they consider trash fish, you know, catfish, drum, buffalo, gar, carp, suckers, any of those type fish you could keep. And those fish you can eat. You just got to know how to prepare some of them, like carp. You got to know how to prepare them. They got a good tenderloin on them. Gar does too, and your buffalo and drum do too. So go ahead, man.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, I just want to throw that in while I was thinking.
All right, let's see. Bourbon, local honey, lemon, cinnamon, ginger, thyme steeped in water. Mix it together. It's awesome. Yes. Yeah. That number one ingredient makes it cough a lung.
That and peppermint too. Yeah. You can just do peppermint with a little honey and whiskey and it'll help it.
Hey, Spencer, I'll give you a secret. So like you said, it was in Tractor Supply. Yeah. But if you go on Amazon and look through their used books, you can find them all cheaper. Yeah. It has, so I go through and I look at the, there's an ISBN number right here. And then I go on Amazon or the used book sites and I look up that book.
If anybody
and buy it used. This is a used book.
If anybody wants, if you'll let us know, we'll take a picture of it and text it to you or message it to you. Or if you send us an email, we can send you a picture of it. I know just flipping it up makes it hard to keep up with all of them. And we got a ton of more books. I don't know what all we got everywhere, but the main reason we have books is if something happens on the internet, we still got references.
Because I can't remember. Oh Lord, sorry, I ain't trusting Mark's fishing recommendation. Chitlin King is on his own.
Hey, you get hungry enough, you eat about anything. I'll tell you that right off the bat.
So this is another one. And I think this was at Tractor Supply also, but I bought it on Amazon. And it is Self-Reliant Living. my fire pit design is based off of the design in here. It's got the keyhole fire where you have the fire in the middle and you pull the coals out in a little keyhole type design. This book has a lot of useful information in it. I mean, as you can see,
It's a big old thick book.
lot
Big old thick
of book. I mean, a lot of information, a lot of pictures. It covers a lot of different topics in here. So this is one that I actually do like. And it is The Ultimate Guide to Self-Reliant Living by Jay Castle. Okay. Give me red meat, pork, I can figure it out. Hey, we're good there. I like my chicken and rabbit, but I like my red meat and pork too. Love my bacon. Greg said, watch out for the corn nuggets. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
Oh,
And we're not leaving the bourbon out. Just saying. Let's see.
oh, man.
And Misty said gar and catfish are her favorites. Fishing's a super weak point for her. Cryptic Crystal said that. I love to fish, but I'm a catch and release. I don't eat it.
Yeah, the gar has got a good tenderloin in it too that you can harvest out and fry it up. It's real good, even though they're very bony fish. And what a lot of people do is pickle it. They'll pickle the gar in carts and stuff, make pickle out of it.
No.
It's pretty good, actually.
Pickled fish. Just, that sounds right up there with chitlins.
Oh boy.
Sorry, it does.
Y'all see who's gonna survive and who ain't.
I'll go out there and pick me some grass and make myself a
And that
salad.
grass ain't got no fat in it. You're gonna have what? What are you looking at my belly for?
Just
You
saying.
got a little belly too.
Just saying. Just saying. I got
I do
rabbits
need
and
to
chicken.
lose this belly. I do need to lose.
I got rabbits and chicken.
I need to go back on my apple cider vinegar for a while.
Yeah, we all need to do some of that. Let's see. Brian Merrick is here. Says
Hey, Brian.
hello.
Hey, how you doing?
We got
man?
wonderful trout up here. Cryptic Crystal said.
Yeah, now trout, like we don't have
Misty,
trout
the
much.
queen of bear meat, loves gar. Makes perfect sense.
Hey.
And you were teasing him about his choices.
Hey, the bear.
His
and-
only bad choice is the chitlins
yeah,
and,
but I'll eat
and all the
bear
other
meat, too.
organs.
And I'll eat the gar.
Well, I'll eat the
I
bear
used to
too.
eat turtle.
I haven't tried turtle, but I'm not against it. Again, long as I don't see eyeballs floating and it's not, as long as it's not organs and intestines or feet. I will not ever.
Oh, I don't eat.
I will not ever eat any pig's feet or chicken feet.
I was working
That's
one.
right there with chitlins.
I was at work one night when I worked at the quarries, and this guy I worked with, he brought in this platter. I know it was this big around. He put it in the microwave. We all sitting there, you know. He comes out and he undoes the paper towels, and it's a big old plate of chicken feet. And I sit there and watched him.
Anthony is
What?
right up your alley. He just said, "What? Pig feet with mustard? Come on."
Well, we're talking about
No.
chicken feet.
Chicken feet or
They
pig
ain't-
feet? I don't care. No.
Well, I had a cousin loved them pickled pig
you,
feet. Now.
you can't sanitize that enough for me. Just like a chitlin. No.
Seriously, I don't eat much of that type stuff
No.
anymore because it ain't good on your blood pressure. Oh man.
I don't eat no pickled pig's feet.
Yeah.
I ain't eating no
But
pig's
now,
feet.
if I needed to,
I
I
ain't
would.
eating
Now, I
no
love
chitlins.
fish. I love fish and all that stuff.
No.
Crappie is my favorite though.
I just can't get past the taste of it. Big old jumbo shrimp.
Shrimp's
Grilled.
good. And that's a trash. That's a trash.
Oh, I'm aware. I can't eat it.
I like oysters.
Unless I
every
want
now
to
and
spend
then.
the night
I've eaten
puking and
mussels before.
have rash. Because I'm allergic and I can't take Benadryl.
We used to go get mussels out of the river sometimes, but you know. Oh well.
Going to catch you some crappie, Mark. Yeah, he will. We got
I need to.
barbecued turtle. I have
in
not
fact,
tried that, but I will try it.
I'll probably have some minnows for next weekend up at the lake.
Mhm. This book is full of little papers. I just noticed. I was flipping through here and saw another piece of paper tucked in here for some reason.
Bookmark.
Somebody's bookmark, I guess. I don't know whose.
You got a few more books to show.
But anyway, so the next book I'm going to show you, of course, it probably used to have a cover on it. This is another one of those, y'all. I don't pay full price for a book.
They got stores now too. What they called? What's the name of that?
Second and I can't remember what the name of it is. Second and something, and they're
Probably,
used bookstore.
So they're going to be probably in your larger towns.
Mm-hmm.
Like here, I think we got
At
one
Birmingham.
in Anniston and one in Birmingham.
Yeah. Second and Charles.
Yeah, but I mean,
Maybe.
like at Foxfire, I bought it for like $5.
Yep.
That's a $70 book if you try to get it offline.
Yep.
So.
A lot of towns have a little used bookstore in them, a little mom and pop type store. A lot of times you can go to your thrift stores and they'll have a book section. Flea markets, yep. We found a lot of stuff there. But mostly when I'm looking for a specific book and I want it right then, I go search the used bookstores online, and I can usually get them for like $3 or $4 at the most. But this one is The Self-Sufficient Life and How to Live It, John Seymour. So this is another one of those names in the self-sufficient world. It's a pretty good book. I have not read all the way through it, but I have flipped through it, and it covers, a little bit about everything. How to harvest. It talks about grass and hay. Talks about the animals, processing, planting. I mean, there is even how to make brick even in here. This is a very good book all around information. It's not very in depth on every topic out there, but it gives you a little bit about everything. And it's, again, The Self-Sufficient Life and How to Live It by John Seymour.
Well, here's the thing. Even with a book, it's not going to get you where you need to be completely. It's called, because you got to have trial and error with it.
Yep. You got to learn it yourself.
You got these books can help you get you a base to get you started, and then you learn as you go. Just like I grew up with old men that were farming, and they didn't go by a book on everything. They knew how their land worked. They knew when to plant, when to harvest. But it takes time to learn that. And so, and all the other things that come along with it,
Mr. Bell said he learned how to trap ribeyes. I'm with him. They line up at dinner time, though. Yeah. All right. So a couple more books that I have bought through the years. This one I just recently bought. Again, used offline. Mini Farming, Self-Sufficiency on a Quarter Acre. This one says it's by Brett L. Markman. A lot of these books, when you buy them, they're the same information that's in a lot of other books. So this is one that if you want, you can get it, but it's not one that I would, say you got to have it. But if you don't have anything else, it will work. This one talks about the double dig method. It talks about composting. It talks about planting. There's some stuff in here about processing chickens. It's got a lot of information in here that you could use. That's another one. Backyard Homesteading for Self-Sufficiency is another one that I got offline. Now, this one actually is more about the projects that you can make. It does talk about, some processing in here. It tells you how to make basics of making wine, smoking meat, smoking fish, pressure canning, regular canning. It's got some beekeeping in here. It's got a little bit of everything again. That's another one. And then this one also has projects in it. So this one is where I saw a miniature chicken pen that was made from PVC. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. There's a lot of different little projects. In this one, it's 40 projects for building your backyard homestead. And it gives you step-by-step on how to do it. It's got how to make a raised bed even. I mean, if you really don't have any idea how to put floorboards together and make a raised bed, it's got that in here for you. Building an arbor, a good strong one. I mean, it's got a lot of different things in here. So that's another one that's worth checking out. And the last one that I would recommend to anybody on gardening, and I probably have mentioned it before, but that's the square foot gardening method by Mel Bartholomew, I think. If you are growing food for your home, the square foot gardening method is a more intensive gardening method using less space. So that's the main thing about it is if you don't have a big, huge garden, you can grow more in a square foot than you can in the row, depending on your gardening methods. But you got to remember, the more intensive you grow, the more you got to be preparing that soil.
Look, can you hand me a couple of my daddy's farm books?
Absolutely.
Just a couple of them. It don't matter. It's easier for her to get over than it is for me. I had to get up and walk all around the room. Just a couple of them. I just want to show a couple of them. That's all. Just pick out the ones you want. Yeah.
Oh, that's dear.
Let's see.
Let's see. Can you grow bell peppers? Yes, you can grow. Well, can you grow bell peppers from seeds and store-bought bell peppers? Sometimes. If you buy the yellow, the orange, and the red, then 100% yes, you can. Your green bell peppers, not all of them are ripe at green, so you have to wait till they change colors and mature. But that's not saying you can't grow. You'll get a better germination rate from the orange, yellow, and red because they start out green and then turn.
Now here's one that's
and
put
Janelle
out.
will be doing both.
Now here's one that's put out by the USDA. I don't know where we come up across that one. They have stuff too, and you can go online. Now, of course, they're going probably now they're pushing more probably about herbicides and pesticides.
Oh yeah, they are.
But
so this is put out by Extension. That's cool.
No, it's USDA.
Same thing.
And here's a little simple book about family poultry flock. It's mostly about poultry. It's a little cool. Soft cover. Even got recipes in the back how to cook them and stuff. That's pretty cool. I don't know if anybody really needs that, but Turkey Hunting Basics by John Phillips. He was a big turkey hunter here in Alabama.
You got one over there for hunting with dogs, even, don't you?
Yeah, oh yeah, I got dog hunting, all that stuff. Now here's a book that is from the 1940s. Food processing. Back then they had, you had ag classes that you took in high school, and my daddy, of course, took it. And there's I don't know how many books, about 20 of them. So a lot of this is old, but it's a lot of it's still prevalent. And it's cool looking at the pictures because you see stuff they were doing back in the 30s and 40s. And a lot of stuff really hadn't changed that much since then. There's some stuff you just can't prove on too
Some
much.
of the stuff that's changing is more the use of chemicals. But if you're sticking with organic methods, these old books, that information doesn't change.
Yeah. Like this one's Poultry for Home and Market. And these are books from, written in the 1930s and 40s. Here's one on livestock farming. And there's one over on southern row crops, forestry, horticulture, farm machinery. There's all kind of books over there. There's one called Front Porch Farmer.
Mm-hmm. I saw that.
That's a guy that was a big cattle farmer, and he let the cows do all the work for him on his property. So these old books are still relevant too. Agriculture hadn't really changed that much. Technology has changed.
Yeah.
Of course, now it's all about herbicide and pesticides and big John Deere tractors that cost $200,000. So
Miss Crystal said, "Can you use the seeds, or do they have to dry first?" We dry our seeds first, but it depends on the seed you're talking about. If you're talking about like bell pepper, then you could probably go ahead and plant that. I prefer letting them dry. I've never like took them straight out of a bell pepper and put them in the ground.
I think you have to dry seed where it goes through that.
I don't think you do, but I don't know though.
I
It's just-
come like you can throw oh, wait a minute. I don't know. I'm thinking about that.
Let's say you drop that bell pepper on the ground, it's
I
going
think
to
it'll
grow.
I thought it was rotten.
The seeds will grow. That's why they sprout later.
We had to think about that.
We'll have to, yeah. I don't know. I've never.
Because if I go out there and bush hog corn patch down,
It's coming right up.
no, it's not.
Yeah,
It's
it
got to
is.
be hard seed for it to come up.
Well, that's a whole different thing. That's called ripe seed.
Right.
It's not ripe until it's hard.
Right.
But
right.
like
And it's got to be
bell
dry.
pepper seed, it's going to sprout. It's not got to go through a hardening process.
Okay.
I don't think.
I mean, I don't want somebody.
But your corn, when
But-
you bush hog it down and you plow it under, the kernels that were hard already,
yeah, they're mature, so
they're mature, so they're going to sprout.
But peas, yeah, they'll sprout then. Peas
Your
will.
peas will sprout too.
Yeah, but I don't think if you go pick a green pea, it
It's-
will.
No, she's not talking about green,
Okay.
and that's
okay.
what we've said
Oh,
about
okay, all right.
the bell peppers.
That's what you was throwing me off
Yeah.
on.
Well, see, we
wait a
already
minute.
covered. It's got to be ripe.
Yeah, okay.
Because with the bell peppers, green bell peppers normally will always turn into red, yellow, or orange.
All right. I'm
They start
caught up.
off green, and when they get ripe,
I must have missed that part when I was looking through the books.
and then I don't know about that breath of fresh air. Pepper, cucumber. Well, them cucumbers sprout on the ground too.
I don't know.
I would say let them air dry and then plant them.
Yeah, I would.
I mean, they don't have to like be seasoned or nothing. I don't think it really even
But
matters.
you can
It's a hard
experiment.
seed to start with.
I mean, with the bell pepper, you
Yeah.
could experiment and see what happens.
Just make sure it's a ripe seed.
Yeah.
That green cucumber that you pick is not ripe.
Yeah.
It's not ripe. That cucumber is going to get to, most of them are going to get this big and this fat, and they'll turn orange. That's when your seed are ripe and ready. Squash, those little, when you let your squash grow a little too big for you to want to use them, seed aren't ripe yet. You want to wait until that thing is fully grown. You want that monster zucchini that's way beyond anything you ever thought about cooking. Those seeds need to be ripe first, and then I don't know if they have to dry or not, but you're welcome to try either way and let me know. I do know that when I take and throw them yellow cucumbers on the ground, that I end up with plants. So
Let's see.
So just make sure it's right.
So we going back over the books real quick. Check your libraries, flea markets, thrift stores.
Use books on Amazon.
Use books on Amazon.
When you're looking on Amazon, it's going to give you the new book. And if you look through there, there's a place to find the other pricing for the used books in that same little place for the one book.
Talking about the weather, like we mentioned earlier, a lot of stuff's budding out. Be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful, because we still probably gonna have.
It is not time to plant.
Yeah, you can get your potatoes and carrots.
Yeah.
English
If it's
peas,
dry enough,
stuff like that. You can go ahead and probably plant lettuce.
all those cute, cool season crops can be put in the ground.
Yeah, you're good to go on
I don't know
that.
about up north.
Yeah, you have to look at your grow zone and see what you got.
If y'all are done with the frozen ground, then you can plant up north. But I don't think y'all are done with frozen ground up north. Tennessee and all y'all can go ahead and plant cool season crops.
Yeah, probably Arkansas through Tennessee, North
Yeah.
Carolina, parts
English
of Virginia.
peas, lettuces, all your turnip, Brussels sprouts, all that stuff. The stuff that bolts when it gets hot. That's the stuff you can go ahead and get in the ground now. Your potatoes, your root crops, all that you can plant.
Well, this cool season, root crops.
Right. Don't plant your sweet potatoes. Plant your starchy potatoes. Sweet potatoes need that warm weather.
Yeah, we have to wait till May to set our slips out.
Let's see.
If we had anybody extra come on, that way we make sure we speak.
See, Janelle, Mr. Bell, Cryptic Crystal still on here. Misty's out doing something. Spencer's probably doing something also. But I don't see anybody else at the moment. The in and outdoor guy still here. Let's see. I'm learning a lot. Didn't even know red, yellow, and orange. Yeah, they start as green. I need books. Yes, we all need books because the internet's not always going to be there. I use the internet to learn a lot of things. When I start researching, I use the internet a lot. But I also like hard copies because my brain doesn't retain it all.
Another thing you do is go online and find a lot of stuff and print it off. If you got a printer, print it off and save the hard copies. Get you a filing cabinet or something. Keep hard copies of stuff. She's going to find another book, I think.
Yeah, I'll do that.
We'll do a show one night on herbs more. We'll get into that deeper.
I don't know if we will or not.
Well, we'll talk about all the different herbs anyway. We can talk about that. Need to find somebody that's got a lot of knowledge on foraging no more. And I think Spencer's got. I think he knows a little bit about foraging, and they have to have us a guest on one night to talk about foraging or something. I know some of it myself, but I've done about forgot half what I knew. I don't know. We got some outings coming up. I was going to mention why she's doing that a minute. Jonathan Odom has got his Alabama Paranormal Bigfoot outing coming up the second weekend in March down at Hollins Hunters Camp. If y'all need more information about it, just give me a message or text me or email me. It'll be Friday night, Saturday night. He's got some speakers. I think he's got a paranormal speaker for Friday night. For Saturday, I think Flat Rock is speaking, and I think Mr. Dale Broswell from down at Phoenix City, Alabama. I look forward to meeting him. I've been knowing him on Facebook off and on for a while. He's got some good stuff going. I know some of our people ain't going to get to make this one. I hate it, but I understand it too. It's just hard to go everywhere. I love to go out in Arkansas, and there's some of that stuff out there. Just I don't know if we're going to be able to with the way you work now. So,
well, this is only going to be for a year, so
yeah. So hopefully maybe some in the fall we can make Arkansas. Texas.
Mark D made it on.
Hello, Mr. Mark. How you doing today?
All right. So Spencer said he is still here.
Okay.
I lost where he said he was cooking or something. I saw it. There it is. While he cooks. Cryptic Crystal said, "No way. We are done in PA. We always have a spring snow." Now, with spring snow, you can cover the crop as long as the ground don't freeze. So that's what happens down here is our ground doesn't ever freeze. So we get to do a lot of different things unless it gets down to 9 degrees for 4 days. Yeah, that was not fun. I'm still hoping my rosemary comes back from that. All right. So one of the people that I do like the herbal books on, and y'all may disagree, Rosemary Gladstar. She gives a lot of different recipes. She talks about how the herbs have different tendencies, like a hot and a cold, action to them and things like that. So I like a lot of her stuff. I've got a couple of her books. Mostly I have them for the herbal recipes that she put in them. Rosemary Gladstar. I went ahead and picked up, y'all. Some of the books I picked up is probably not the best in the world, but Rodale puts out a ton of books, and this is one of their books. They do a lot of gardening books and a lot of things like that. This is one of their books, Illustrated Encyclopedia of Herbs. And again, Rodale is the company that publishes this. A lot of their books, especially when it comes to gardening, I'm gonna say they're more of the keep it simple, stupid type publishing. But it's a good thing to get you up and running. And this has a ton of information in it. It's got some recipes in here. It's got how to grow them. It's got some stuff that you can just harvest that's already growing in different places. Like now, how many people know what a maypop is? How many people have seen the passion flower vine? I always wanted one of those. I did. I always wanted one until last year when it was about as invasive as the morning glories. So I may have changed my mind on that one. But so yeah. And then I found this little book on Amazon as well. So again, it talks about a lot of different little herbs and things like that. And it gives a lot of recipes specifically for tea. So we know that there are herbal teas that you can make out there. And you can even buy a Camellia sinensis, which is what your main tea ingredient is. Your black tea, your white tea, your green tea, they're from Camellia sinensis. They're all three from the same plant.
We got one growing here.
We got one growing. All right, let's see. We're looking into greenhouse if we stay in the Commonwealth. All right, so we have a small greenhouse, and we tell everybody about it because it was like $150, and it's 7 foot by 15 foot.
Something of that nature.
Something like that. 7 foot by 15 foot. And we only paid like $150 at the most for it when I bought it.
They're probably a little higher now. But.
And they may not be because they were actually lower when we bought it. They were only like $130 the second time we bought it. But it was from bestchoiceproducts.com. And it's been a pretty good little greenhouse. The first one, we had to replace it because we got a very bad storm in the area and it wasn't staked down yet. So the wind just picked it up and put it in the neighbor's yard across the street.
I mean, it went a good piece.
It went rolling. So it ripped up the cover, of course, and we had to buy a new one. It was just as cheap to buy a new one as it was to replace the cover. Yes, those teas have medicinal properties, and that's what it talks about in the book is what the different properties of plants in the teas are. But your Camellia sinensis does not have a medicinal.
Joe Parker's on. Hey, Joe.
So the second one we bought, we're going to end up having to replace it also, thanks to Sister, because the cats that are outside get in the greenhouse in the cold parts of the winter. And when Sister was young, she wanted to get in there with Mooshie, and she tore up the vents to get into the greenhouse. So it has little roll-up vents on the sides, which was a good little feature for it. But I'll go ahead and tell you, come about May, ain't nothing growing in there because it's too hot. It doesn't have a roof vent. Again, that's the joy of living in the South. Right now, with these 80-degree days that we've had, it's been too hot in the greenhouse. We have to have those side vents open to grow anything, et cetera, et cetera. So, oh, he's cooking deer. That's what I need to cook.
Spencer asked, have we grown mushrooms?
I have grown mushrooms one time. I'm not a big fan of mushrooms. I don't eat a lot of them, but we were growing the shiitake mushrooms in the logs, and it said you need to shock them basically. So we had drilled holes in it and put the little things in there, the inoculated little pieces of wood in there. I can't think what they're called. And then we let them sit for a while. And then after a certain period of time, we were going to do the shocking in the creek. Well, we threw them in the creek and
A flood came.
a flood came. So I lost all of my mushrooms from that. Not a happy camper. And I have not found that setup again to restart them. And I just, like I said, I keep wanting to get into mushrooms again, but I can't pay those prices that it wants for the kids to learn it. So
And last year, our town, Sylacauga,
mm-hmm.
we really live in Oak Grove, but Sylacauga is the big town right next to it.
And be careful looking for where Oak Grove is. There's two of them.
Yeah, there's one right outside of Birmingham. But
we're the
last
one
year, though,
in Talladega County.
Sylacauga had a mushroom festival.
Yeah.
We didn't get to go. I wanted to. They said it was one of the largest ones in the U.S. I mean, they're coming back. I think they're going to have one again this fall.
Oh, I got a cat sitting on the mouse. Where is the mouse? In the floor.
Yeah. So hopefully, I think this fall they're going to have it again. So this time we're going to make sure, and we'll probably do that log mushroom thing again because we got a swamp behind us, and they probably want I can tie a rope to them too where they can't leave. But we're probably going to, and plus we got a lot of mushrooms growing here. I just really need to identify a lot of them.
Yeah. Well, most of them that I've identified are poisonous.
Yeah. So, what's that one they call lionhead or whatever?
Oh, lion's mane.
Lion's mane. Mm-hmm. I see some of them up on hunting.
Do you really?
Yeah, there's some of them up there.
You need to show me them because those are supposed to be really good.
I see some of them up there in places.
Of course, you got to harvest them at the right time, basically.
I haven't seen any of them here that I know of.
I haven't seen them here either. I haven't seen many good ones here. Most of the time, if I see a puffball, it's beyond ripe and no good no more.
Yeah, so, Spencer, she ain't much on mushrooms.
You know what? I'm getting to where I like them.
Yeah, Joe, I'm hungry too.
We stay hungry.
Can't tell by my belly.
We didn't get dinner before we started our live tonight, so because we were selling rabbits.
Yeah, we had some company over wanting to learn about rabbits and stuff.
And y'all know me, I don't mind talking.
Let me go back and make sure we ain't missed a question. Let's see.
Had to take a glove off. Oh boy.
Oh boy, yeah, paying with them pasty butts. I can imagine. Let's see. Joe's on here aggravating everybody.
Of course.
Camping in the dirt tonight, Joe. You and Pat camping out in the woods. Let's see.
So
yeah, Crystal, that crab and cheese stuff.
Mark
That's a good stuff with mushrooms. I like that too.
Mark D about medicinal teas.
Right.
Rosemary is a good one to do tea for pain if you can get past the flavor. Rosemary and feverfew are supposed to be good for migraines. There's a lot of them. I do goldenrod tea for sinus drainage. It's also good for UTIs and stuff like that, but I think it's better in a tincture form for the UTIs. But you take that goldenrod and you put it in a tea form and you drink it, it helps dry up those sinuses. It doesn't cure your cold, but it helps you be able to deal with that cold a little better. Let's see. Fried cube steak.
We got to learn how to put people's questions up. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I think they're doing that on StreamYard versus this.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, yeah.
That way we don't miss.
I got to learn StreamYard a little better.
We're gonna have some people online.
Ooh, chicken cheese enchiladas. That sounds good.
Y'all
are not helping because you know what I'm having for dinner? Peanut butter banana sandwich.
Well, there you make you a banana cheese.
Ooh, I've got those.
I tell you,
burrito in a jar.
I know who's eating good, real good tonight.
I know, right?
Spencer and Joe Parker.
Taco spaghetti.
And Mr. Mark D's eating good too. Burger night.
Mr. Bell's got taco spaghetti.
Oh, taco spaghetti.
That sounds good, actually.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah. Do some looking up of books for teas. I've got 3 or 4 of them here, and that's all they're on is strictly teas. Now the medicine's not as strong as a tincture, and I'll be honest with you, trying to drink the rosemary tea is hard. It's hard, but I did it, and it helped the headache and all the body pain that I was having that day. The body pain was gone. Ever since COVID, when we got it that first year, if I get cold, my bones, literally the bones hurt, not the joints, the bones. And if I get cold at all, my back, my arms, my knees, would trust a woman that did. Oh Lord. So that rosemary tea,
Won't
though,
eat fish either.
I know
Joe.
won't eat fish, and is allergic to shrimp and Benadryl of all things. Yes, y'all, allergic to shrimp and Benadryl.
Essence recipe.
I got an essence. We may have to share some of these things, y'all. Rosemary tea it's not very good, but it worked. So if you can add some honey to it and maybe some something else to cut the rosemary flavor a little bit, it actually is not horrible, but I put a lot of honey in mine, a lot. I'll be honest, a lot. But it worked. That was the key point of that, is it worked. I was very surprised. The body pain seriously went away. It didn't get the migraine gone because whatever was triggering the migraine was still there, but it worked. Agave nectar, yeah, that's another good one. Anything to sweeten with that doesn't have an additional strong flavor, like sweetening with sorghum or cane syrup, did not work with rosemary. It just, you put two off flavors like that together, and it didn't work. So you have to have the good sweets, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Crystal, you camp out cooking is great. I love it.
Love it.
And it ain't bad with the Bigfoot showing up either.
Yep.
As long as he ain't coming in to take the food from us.
Camping, cooking. So you take a rabbit or a chicken, put it in a Dutch oven, pour a jar of salsa over it, done. Delicious.
Yeah, it is.
You can make it better by adding bell peppers and mushrooms and onions and all that stuff, but jar of salsa and the chicken or rabbit.
Good. Salsa gets in that meat or something, boy. It's good. Let's see.
Rosemary on chicken's delicious. Rosemary on rabbit is delicious too.
There's all kind of dishes to make all that stuff.
My first recipe cooking rabbit was apple cider vinegar, honey, and rosemary, kind of made as a glaze on the rabbit. Oh, it was delicious. It was delicious. Nobody went back for seconds.
Because of what?
Because it was a rabbit laying on a plate.
Well,
presentation is everything.
Let me tell you, even I'm country boy, and I kind of like, this don't look right because the legs are still sticking up on both ends. I'm like,
presentation matters.
Next time we need to cut that up where it don't look sad.
Presentation matters.
Yeah, it will look good.
So, but it was delicious. It was really good. So, like I said, presentation, it matters. So, rice with butter, carrots, broccoli. Oh my gosh, that sounds delicious.
Yeah, boy, we got some cooks on here.
I know.
We need to move everybody down our way.
Yes. And somebody needs to give me a plate of food right now because I'm hungry.
They talk about food.
I know. Hey, I have cheesecake in a jar. I have cornbread, and I have burrito in a jar. That might be my dinner.
Yeah, you're going to have to do another video on that problem.
I've got to do the 15-bean soup cannon video. I just haven't had time, and I need to get that up for Monday, but it's pressure canned, and I'll need some help with that one. Brine and dry my turkey. Carefully stuff it with rosemary. Oh, that sounds good too.
It came from Elma. All right, one other thing we was on talk about real quick. I don't know what time it's getting.
7:05.
Ooh, I might have to quit here in a minute.
Yep.
I do have to go in tonight. We're having a production Saturday. So tonight is actually my Saturday night.
Mhm.
Yeah, our plant's picked up. I
Do you work tomorrow?
No, no, no. We're talking about moving the live chats to Friday night
And letting it still be called Friday Fireside Chat,
chats.
but it'll be live.
It'll be live, and we'll talk about homesteading and Bigfoot.
Anything at all.
We'll probably start it off homesteading and then end it with Bigfoot. I'm still going to do my videos. I'm thinking about just starting releasing them maybe on Fridays.
Or Wednesday, just release it. Swap for 2 days, maybe.
Well, we could do that. We could do that.
Because you don't really want to do the live and the video on Friday together.
Well, we're going to do it on Fridays. I'll release the video on Saturday.
Friday.
I thought I said Saturday. All right, I meant Saturday. What I was talking about. Because I still want.
I say release on Wednesday because I'm the one that's got to edit.
Okay.
I got to work Saturdays.
That's true. Well, we may just start, and we're going to still call my video Fireside, or we're going to call them something different.
You might have to come up with a different name because Fireside Chats will be taken for the live.
Yeah,
which
but now
Fireside Chat sounds like a live.
Yeah.
So we may have to come up with you a Plowboys Ponderings.
We'll come up with something.
What would we call a Bigfoot episode if we changed the name from Fireside Chats? What do y'all think
a lot
we
of our
should
cups
call
have
it?
got Fireside chats on it.
I know.
I don't know. We'll have to think about that. But I still want the Bigfoot with the plow still in the emblem. We'll be thinking about that. But I know we're probably going to move our lives to Friday night. And I'm going to say one reason is we're not stepping in too many other people. I know there's people probably doing some lives tonight. But some of the people we support, their lives are like Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And, I don't want to, and I know it's hard to get away from everybody, but I don't want to
Keep stepping on toes.
Stepping on toes. And because I know a lot of y'all want to go watch them too. And I'm just like y'all, I can't watch everybody. So I'm wondering if Friday nights would work better for everybody. Most time I'm off on Friday night, so we won't have to be in a hurry to get off. I mean, I know tonight we will, but most Friday nights I'm off, so we'd be able to. Now, next Friday night, I don't know if we'll be able to do a live or not, unless we can do it from the hunting club, if we got
some service.
So we'll play it by ear. Got a few people coming in, and then next Friday night, we'll have the other outing going on, so I don't know. We'll have to figure out the next 2 Friday nights. We just have to play it by ear. And yeah, that releasing out on Wednesday might do pretty good. That'd give you time to edit it.
Yep. Let's see, Mark.
And then
In and Outdoor Guy, if y'all would like, I would love to watch a video on Canon. We have some on our channel already. I even made a playlist of all the Canon videos that we have so far. There's basics video 1 and 2, I think. And then we did some recipes that we canned and stuff. And I will be doing more videos as we go for the homestead videos that we'll do on.
Yeah, we'll do some more
Mondays, right?
We'll do some more Canon videos. I know coming this summer. I hope to have a Canon day here.
I'd like that. I don't know that we'll ever get that, but.
And we'd sit there and film parts of it. Stuff like that. I like to show how to do some of that. And we even can some meat and stuff. Maybe.
Yep. Cryptic Crystal. Let me go see what she said. It restricted it for some reason.
Huh?
Yeah.
She didn't say nothing out of the ordinary.
Oh, she retracted it. That's what it was. This thing, don't you remember it was blocking somebody else's stuff?
Anybody got questions about what we've talked about so far? On the books, or if anybody wants know about any of these books, just message us or comment in the comments after the show, or
Mhm.
email, send me a text message or something. Ask me which one, and I'll take a picture of it, send it to
Mhm.
you. That way, maybe you can find it.
Small gardening space and you want to plant a lot of stuff, seriously, look up square foot gardening method. There's a book on it, there's Facebook groups on it. Um, I don't want to say it's like a cult following, but it's an awesome gardening method. They even have templates now that they've created for it. So
Janelle, yeah, we need to have a weekend get together somewhere and do some canning. We might come to Arkansas and or y'all come over here and we just I got plenty of room for everybody.
mhm.
Have a big canning weekend or something, and have some Bigfoot happening at night or something. Crystal here at the house has been quiet, but the Bigfoot are on the move right now. Got two different people have had sightings this week. Uh, then a guy heard some howls and stuff. I got to investigate. I got an email from a guy about something that went on about this same time last year. So I'm thinking, and then remembering in past some things that's happening. Deer season has went out here in Alabama, and I know it's out in most other parts of the country. We went out February 10th. It's got a little warmer here in the last few weeks. Also, the food supply is probably diminished a good bit. So, in other words, like all the acorns is gone, most of the greenery in the woods is gone. So, everything's probably got depleted. That means that the deer, turkeys, coons, all your animals are probably moving around more, hunting for food. And of course, when they're moving around, the predators are following them. Of course, we know what Bigfoot is. He's a type of predator. We know that much about him. Um, so there are them. So they're probably following the animals more, and they're probably searching for food too. Huh?
Reading
Oh,
comments.
so, but no, there's not been any activity here at the house that we know of in the last week or two. My deer are coming out at night pretty regular. That's always a good sign to me that something else ain't here. Um, Seems like it goes in a cycle here. And what I mean by a cycle, it seems like for a week or two to be quiet, then a week or two we'll have something. So if they're moving around right now, like I think they are, there's a good possibility they may pop up here in the next few days. Um,
He asked if they had like seasonal activity every year too.
yes, Mr. Yeah. It seemed like spring and fall there's more activity with them. What I have noticed
And it's
over
the
the years,
same year after
year
year.
after year, it seems like most of the vocals we would hear would be starting late winter into spring and then going in summer into fall. Seemed like when we would hear more vocals. Um, Seemed like I've had more sightings reported to me, and my sightings have always been more in the late winter, spring. Of course, the first one I seen was in January, but a lot of the other activity that me and Keith and others had on the club seemed to be more in that February, March, April, May, uh, in there. Also, then starting about October, November. But now I've heard stuff year round. Of course, summertime, the bugs are so loud and you got so much foliage, uh, it's hard to tell anything as well. But I've spent a lot of time up on the club in the middle of the summer and have activity going on too. But some of the best vocals I've got from the hunting club are February, March. There's some people that speculate too that maybe when their mating season starts. Could be. I mean, we can't nail that down. That's just a theory. I mean, what I'm talking about is a theory. With the food diminishing, hunting season. Of course, when hunting season goes out and there's less people in the woods, they probably do get more active. They probably can move more freely. Uh, there's probably a bunch of factors in there, so it's hard to say.
All right. So Joe says Pat's hunting boogers, and Janelle said she coming down here. I said yes, come on. Spencer is gone to feed the family.
Okay.
He says really good show. Y'all like it on Saturdays. Saturdays. I'm not sure what he's talking about Saturdays for. It's Friday. He'll catch what he misses tomorrow. And then Janelle asked, and I got to ask, what type of peas? Do we plant our peas by almanac or after you hear the whippoorwills? Neither one.
I wait till I know the ground is warm for peas, for field peas or cow peas, whatever you want to call them, which would be your purple hull, your white crowder, your whippoorwill peas, your
That's what she's talking about. Zippers.
The lady fingers. I mean, there's all type of peas.
Yeah. All those cow peas and field peas. We don't really.
I think their germination's got the ground's got to be in the 60s for them to germinate. Mm-hmm. I want to say around 65 or above for the pea seed to germinate. We're like corn to germinate in 50. Mm-hmm. Certain beans.
And okra corn, likes warm weather too.
Yeah, okra is a hot weather plant. The hotter it gets, the better it likes it. I don't know.
I don't transplant okra. We plant it straight from seed in the ground. But it's like field peas. We wait till the ground is warm.
One of the best ways is just go fill your soil.
Yeah.
And you can take, they got soil.
When you've got warm nights.
Yeah.
Pretty consistent warm nights.
Your
ground's warming up.
But if you still got cool nights and a lot of rain going on, that ground's still going to be cool.
Like right now, we've got 80-degree days, but we've got
50-degree,
40 and 50-degree nights still. So that soil's not warm. You want to wait until your nights are consistently warm for those peas. And then let's see, heard 221.23, a sighting off of 46 from 20. And Janelle, we'll let you know. Yeah, it's too cold right now. We probably won't be planting peas till end of May.
Yeah, I'll start usually planting. It's just going how the weather does. Yeah. If that soil warms on up, I'll go ahead and plant peas. I have planted them late April and made peas, but I usually wait till about the 1st of April.
But we also usually will plant a late
I plant stages. I plant in stages too.
We planted in August one year?
Yeah, I planted
in September?
Well, I don't think I've ever done in September.
So just late August?
So, I'll start my pea planting in May. I'll try to get my corn in the ground in April if possible, early April if I can. But like okra, sweet potatoes, peas, I'll wait till May. Watermelons, I'll wait on May. I used to try to do watermelons in April. It just don't never work out.
I do a stir fry on the okra.
Biggest thing, just check your temperature of your soil. And you do have to watch for them little cool snaps pop up. They will set peas and stuff back a few days. Biggest thing is just make sure ain't no frost. I'm trying to think.
Come on down, Janelle. We got an extra bedroom.
Oh yeah. Anybody's welcome.
Mm-hmm. We need to set you up a tent. Let's see. How is okra cooked correctly?
Crystal said she about puked when she tried. Well, I was gonna say now you tried it at
everybody does it differently.
Yeah.
I kind of like getting the freezer section where it's got the heavy breading on it and deep frying that, but I can't make that at home. So when I grow my own, I chop it up into little small pieces and I bread it. When I say bread it, I don't do what everybody else does. I just take and put it in a bag of cornmeal and shake it up, basically. I don't put egg on it or milk or nothing like that. There we go. Oh, I see what she did. why hers got blocked.
What's that?
But I brought it back in. Don't say that. Me and my kids will be living in your backyard. Come on.
Come visit.
The only requirement is pitching in.
We may have a
So-
Cedar Creek Bottoms meetup one day.
We should.
We'll do homesteading and
Mhm.
Bigfoot.
We should. We can do 2 separate ones even. One for homestead, one for Bigfoot. That way those that aren't interested in one can come for the other.
Yeah, that's true.
I take, like I said, I chop it up into small slices and I immediately put it into cornmeal flour mixture with salt and pepper. And then I dice up a green tomato and I throw both of those in the skillet and stir fry it. That's how I do mine. I'm not a huge fan of okra myself. Fried is the only way I do it. I don't do slimy okra. I don't do stewed and boiled okras. I don't do pickled okra. I make pickled okra for everybody else, but not for me. Market is 7:21. We need to wrap this up.
One thing real quick, he brought y'all talking about boiled okra.
Mhm.
I know most of y'all know who Jerry Clower is.
And yes, you can get blueberries for planters. Keep going.
If you ever listen to a lot of his stories, of course they're kind of southern based, so you know.
Probably not for 2 people.
He talks about one day his mama threw out a pan of boiled okra out the back door, and they had 2 hound dogs. One hound dog, started slurping it up, and the other got to fighting. They both got to fighting each other over the boiled okra, and they didn't realize both of them had got enough of it. But you have to go listen to him say it. I mean, I can't tell it like he was, but some of y'all may have heard about Jerry Clower, but it's about the boiled okra and the hound dogs out in the yard. That was a pretty funny story. I'm a big Jerry Clower fan. I used to listen to a lot of his stuff, and it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I love Jerry Clower. For those of y'all that was wanting canning videos, I did put a couple of links to them in the chat here. I put the link to the playlist of all the canning videos, and then I put the link to the canning basics video that we did. So that way y'all can go back and find it and watch it if you wanted to. And as far as blueberry bushes, yes, you can grow blueberry bushes in planters, but you probably are not going to get a lot of bushes off of a lot of berries off of any pot-sized plant. You probably get a couple handfuls off of each plant. So when you say for enough for a couple people, it depends on how much y'all want to eat blueberries. We have 11 plants, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
And this is their first year that they're going to produce. We usually don't get many off of the others, but these we're hoping that we get a lot more off them, but they will not produce much this first year. They will produce more as they grow. But again, if you're thinking of like a patio blueberry bush, you're probably not going to get more than a handful or 2 off of each bush, honestly.
Well, y'all, we're going to have to get off here because I am going to have to get ready for work, much as I hate to. Like I said, the next 2 Fridays, I just don't know about yet. So definitely we're probably going to move to Fridays.
Live will be on Fridays.
Now this next 2 weeks we might have to do it on a different day or something if we can't do it from the outings.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out. We'll put a thumb tag up.
We'll figure it out.
Probably will be moving the Bigfoot videos to Wednesdays.
That way I can help you.
So I probably won't put one out this weekend. I'll just hold it to come out next Wednesday because I do got some sightings to go work the next few days. We got one next Wednesday. I got to meet a guy up. We'll go check out what he saw. I got another guy to go meet up with, what he saw and the tracks he's got. Then later on, I'll be going up to Turnip Seed Campground up toward T-Hall, checking out some stuff. And of course, we'll be going in and out on Creepy Mountain a lot. So
yes, he needs to do a cooking show. No chitlins involved.
Huh?
or pig's feet?
What?
I was replying to Misty.
Well, Crystal, won't we just get some okra later this year, and we'll fry some and do a video on it. We frying it in there and everything.
Oh, there's some of them out there already.
And,
Yeah, I did little shorts on them, but I don't know where they are.
It's kind of hard to explain.
It is,
How,
but honestly, okra is a love it or hate it thing.
Well, that's true.
You either love it or you hate it. And
I'm still thinking about marketing it for Viagra raw.
You know, I like it fried, but that's it.
Oh, me. That tickled me when I read that. I said, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, we need to do a cooking show with Spencer's, what Misty, what they were saying. And that's why I said no chitlins and everything. But now I'm thinking maybe we should do it on chitlins and pig's feet and, Spam.
Oh, come on, Misty. You eat some chitlins. You eat bear and turtle and
no
fish. You eat chitlins. Let's see.
And no pig's feet.
And no okra, Crystal.
Yeah, no okra. I'll cook some okra and you can try it. So,
now, everybody has their taste, and I would never force no chitlins on nobody. Now I would tell you, hey, if we're having a chitlin supper, you're welcome to come. Yeah. But it is going to be chitlin, but we'd have something else there for other people. But I like cutting up about that because that does catch a lot of people off guard.
It caught Spencer off guard, so it's like a.
Oh yeah, that first time we was on the show with him and Misty, and I brought that up. Boy, you could just see his face turn inside out, and I got tickled. And it's. I said something about on Discover Sasquatch.
I do not try anything once. Just no. Most things I'll try, but not anything.
I was hoping that Chris was going to catch it and bring it up, but he didn't catch it. But when Spencer was on last night, so
yeah.
Everybody, I guess we better go off here.
Yeah, it's 7:30.
Yeah, so y'all remember everybody we support. Chris with Discover Sasquatch. Spencer and Misty with Woodwalkers. Misty and her family with Southern Appalachian Sasquatch Seekers on Facebook. Of course, Kyle with Encrypted Connections. Lauren with Night Callers. And of course, I watch Mr. Martin with the humanoids, and I try to keep up with Hellbent Holler some. And there's a lot of others I've been trying to watch. There's some new ones I've been trying to catch when they have stuff.
And I just don't have time to watch nobody.
And of course, in the homestead world, of course, it's Deep South, Permapastures, Holler Homestead, Living with Traditions. And there's a few more small ones that I like to watch. There's a guy here in Alabama, David the Good, that does a lot of good stuff. He has a lot of good ones.
Permapastures.
Yeah, Permapastures. And
Homestead, Deep South.
Yes. And there's and don't get me wrong, there's a lot more good cryptid channels. Every now and then I catch some of them. I just can't watch them all. I wish I could, but I never get nothing else done. So, but there's a lot of other good ones out there. So hopefully over the next few weeks, we'll have some good lives. Hopefully, I hope. Maybe we'll be able to do one from the hunting club and maybe be able to do one from down at Hollins. And anybody that ever wants to come here, you're more than welcome. We'll go up on the hunting club. We'll do a camp out. We'll go to Hollins and camp out. There's boogers down there. I mean, they're there. They own the club. I got some other places we got to go look. So, just let me know. We'll try to plan it. We'll try to do a weekend or something. And of course, I'm going to be visiting some other people when we get time. There's some places I'd like to go visit. So hopefully we can work it out with everybody. Well, if nobody's got anything else, I hope everybody has a good weekend. Stay safe. Get along. Love one another.
And get you some vitamin D. Get outside.
Yeah, try to enjoy it if you can. It's supposed to rain here tomorrow. So
Sure.
I think it's supposed to be pretty Sunday. All right.
Hey, David Beasley finally made it on.
Hey, David, how you going?
Just as we're getting off. Bye, David. Bye, y'all. See y'all later.
Love y'all. Y'all be good. Take care of yourself.